It was a rainy Tuesday afternoon when Emily, a dedicated nurse with 5 years of experience at St. Mary's Hospital, faced the hardest decision of her career. The clouds loomed dark over the city, mirroring the tension inside the emergency room. Emily was known for her sharp instincts and compassionate care, always going above and beyond for her patients. Little did she know, this day would test her limits like never before. John, a middle-aged man with a history of heart problems, was rushed into the ER. He was pale, sweating, and clutching his chest in agony. The doctors were swamped, juggling multiple emergencies. Emily's eyes met John's, and she saw pure terror. Without hesitation, she took charge. She quickly assessed John's condition, recognizing the signs of a massive heart attack. The room was a flurry of activity, nurses and doctors moving swiftly, but the situation was deteriorating too quickly for standard protocols to suffice. Emily's mind raced through her training and experiences, weighing the risks and benefits of acting without direct approval. John's vitals were dropping fast. His skin was growing cold, and his breath was coming in short, desperate gasps. Emily made a snap decision. She administered a clot-busting drug, something typically reserved for doctors' approval. The room held its breath as they waited for a response. Moments later, John's color started to return, and his vitals stabilized. Emily sighed with relief. She had saved him, but in the back of her mind, she knew she had broken protocol. Later that evening, Emily was called into the Chief of Staff's office. Dr. Roberts, a stern man in his 50s, sat behind a large mahogany desk, his expression unreadable. Emily took a deep breath and walked in. Dr. Roberts was known for his adherence to rules and his unyielding nature when it came to hospital policies. Emily braced herself for what she knew was coming. Emily admitted that she administered the clot-busting drug without a doctor's approval, her voice steady despite the turmoil inside her. Dr. Roberts leaned forward, his eyes piercing. He acknowledged that she had saved a patient's life but emphasized that breaking the rules could not be tolerated. The words felt like a slap. Emily's world crumbled. She had dedicated her life to this hospital, to her patients. Tears welled up in her eyes, but she held her head high. She understood the consequences and left the office with her heart heavy. The next week was a blur. Emily struggled to find purpose without her job, the place where she felt she truly made a difference. She spent her days sending out resumes, hoping for another chance. Her mind often drifted back to the hospital, to her colleagues, and to John, the man whose life she had saved. She wondered how he was doing, if he knew the sacrifice that had been made on his behalf. Meanwhile, back at St. Mary's, chaos ensued. The nurses and doctors were overwhelmed without Emily's presence. She had been the glue holding the team together, her knowledge and experience invaluable. Dr. Roberts was inundated with complaints and concerns from staff and patients alike. The hospital's efficiency plummeted, and morale was at an all-time low. Nurses whispered in the corridors about how things used to be, and patients began noticing the change in the care they received. One evening, Dr. Roberts sat in his office, staring at a stack of paperwork. He rubbed his temples, the stress evident on his face. He couldn't deny it any longer. Firing Emily had been a mistake. The hospital was suffering without her. He picked up the phone and dialed Emily's number. She answered on the third ring, her voice tinged with sadness. Dr. Roberts, uncharacteristically humble, admitted the hospital's mistake and requested a meeting. They met at a small cafe near the hospital. Dr. Roberts looked exhausted, a stark contrast to his usual composed demeanor. He confessed to Emily that the hospital needed her back and was willing to reinstate her, also offering to discuss a plan to ensure situations like this were handled better in the future. Emily was silent for a moment, processing his words. She appreciated his gesture but made it clear that changes were necessary. Protocols were important, but so was saving lives. They needed to find a balance. A week later, Emily returned to St. Mary's, greeted with cheers and hugs from her colleagues. The hospital began implementing new protocols, allowing nurses more authority in critical situations. Emily's bravery had sparked change, making the hospital a better place for both staff and patients. In the following months, Emily's reputation soared. She became a symbol of courage and compassion, not just within the hospital but in the broader medical community. Her actions led to numerous discussions and seminars on the role of nurses in emergency care, advocating for policies that empowered them to act decisively when necessary. Life went on, but Emily would never forget that rainy Tuesday. It was the day she lost her job, only to realize her true worth. She had saved a life, and in doing so, she had changed the system for the better. Her journey was a testament to the power of intuition and the importance of standing up for what's right, even when it means breaking the rules. And for Emily, that was worth everything. Thank you so much for watching this video. I put a link down below about something very interesting you'll like. Go check that out. Subscribe for more daily content. See you on the next one.